Yes, people. Welcome to the Manc Talk. We are back. We're live. We're in the building. We got it Friday. You know what it's like, man. Manc Talk is here. And you're probably wondering where is LB, but LB has got a new flat. So he's moving into his new flat. So big up to LB. Congratulations on your new flat, mate, and hope you're well. We've got man like Jordan, his partner on the City Extra crew. Jordan, man, it's been a pleasure. Welcome to Saudi TV, by the way.
First time for everything. Didn't think today would be the day that I step in, but obviously LB's busy and that, so easy for me to just come in and sit in his place. Not taking his place though, for people that get worried.
No, it's all love, man. It's all love, and you know what? It's not as if you gotta come in while someone's bad on form and it's kind of done you over here. City are doing what City doing it like, just easy at the minute, man.
It would have been the worst thing ever if, like, say you beat us or something like that happened, or Liverpool this week and Liverpool beat us and LB is like, will you just step in for me on this? I'd be like, oh, no, I ain't stepping in to get cooked for you, mate. Like,
no, listen, you have to do the show on my ones, you know what I mean? So, man, big up, man. Big up for coming on. Let's start off with the breaking news, people. Reece James has got an injury, which I thought, you know what? I thought it wasn't going to be that bad as first fade, but just got an exclusive today. Growing fears that Reece James will set to miss the World Cup. Damage to his knee, more serious than first fade. Surgery, a possibility. More shortly coming on. Big blow for Chelsea, first of all, Jordan. Big player, man. This guy is what Chelsea do. Their whole creativity on that right-hand side. He's the one, man, and it's a big blow for Chelsea, first of all. I know we'll talk about Liverpool, England, but for Chelsea, how big of a blow is this for you?
Yeah, I think it's massive, man. I think Reece James is incredible. I think he's absolutely mint. It hurts me the fact that he signed that new deal, because in my head I was like, please, City, please go after Reece James when Kyle Walker starts to die off. Because for me, he's the perfect Kyle Walker replacement, and that'll never happen. Yeah. Chelsea through and through. So it is what it is, and it's terrible for him. Really, it's terrible for him. Obviously, missing the World Cup and stuff. But for Chelsea's season as well, I'm not sure who they get in as their like second choice right back.
They haven't got one. They probably played Trevor Chalobah at right back, but it's not the same, is it? It's not the same as
what happened to that Livramento guy that he ended up going, because he's Chelsea, isn't he? But did he end up going back to Southampton?
I think they sold him. to Southampton. Yeah, they ended up selling him.
Makes sense.
They ended up selling him.
I knew he was on loan. I didn't know if they sold him or not.
Yeah, apparently they sold him. So obviously, at the minute, they've got a three-at-the-back system. Sometimes they play 4-3-3, but at the minute, Reece James is so key because he's the one that gives them. He's probably their best passer, their best. You know what I mean? In terms of creativity-wise, it helps them make them tick. You know what I mean? He can go into midfield as well. He's an inverted fullback, so he's so pivotal to what they do, and it just shows you how this Premier League is unforgiving as well. And obviously you've got Champions League. Yeah. There's so many mitigating circumstances that you've almost got to be careful, but at the same time, you want to be able to play them. It's a bad one, isn't it? And this is his second injury now in successive time, because I'm sure he was out with another similar injury as well.
Was it last year when he had a bad injury? Was it last year?
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. I remember him missing out loads of time, and then obviously on the other side as well with Chilwell. They've had a bad time with Chilwell and his injuries. It's a rip. It's shit for Chelsea, really. It's not good. I seen someone in the chat then saying about playing Azpilicueta, and I know Azpilicueta used to be there like right back guy. I think as soon as his pace started to die off, I think they just threw him in centre back, and that's kind of his thing now, isn't it? I've seen that sometimes they do play Chalobah there, so I'm guessing that's what they're going to be forced into doing now.
I think as well, people are saying Loftus-Cheek. You know, it's an interesting one, because he has played there a couple of times, but at the same time, this is now Graham Potter. This is a Tuchel, no disrespect, where he was just playing anyone right back, left wing back. You know what I mean? Pulisic was playing left wing back at one point. I think Graham Potter will hope to kind of make it at least, you know what I mean, defenders play where they are, midfielders play where they are, but just it's injury season. Someone says it there. It is injury season. This is where you have to manage injuries now. And when I see Ten Hag is playing every single player, sometimes he's trying to keep that continuity. You guys have had it. I remember you guys had like 4 centre backs out at one time, innit? was crazy, isn't it?
Towards the end of last season, we had a bad time with centre backs. We had to play Fernandinho, and Laporte played through an injury at the end of last season. Then obviously,
Yeah, I remember. And then
luckily we went and got an Akanji because then we got John Stones. Obviously, Laporte's still injured from the end of last season. He's only just come back now. Then John Stones got injured, and then Kyle Walker's in and out of injury recently. So we've had a bit of a rough time at the back as well. But luckily for us, we went and got Akanji 15 mil, which has turned into a steal. That's the only saving grace for us, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's the only saving grace. But for England, massive blow, man. Obviously, Trent's already out with injury. This would have been my first choice right back for me for England. I don't know if it's the same with you. Is this your first choice right back for England? If you're gonna pick one, who would you pick?
Yeah, it'd be Reece James, and I know people shouting Kyle Walker and that, but even when Kyle Walker's fit this season, he's not been playing very good. And as well, I think Kyle Walker sometimes for England will play as like a right-sided centre back. That's always an option there. But yeah, Reece James is mint. Reece James honestly is sick, and I think it's a massive loss for England now. Trent's injured, obviously that we found out the other day. Kyle Walker obviously injured. Reece James injured. So
it's mad, isn't it? Like
it's mad. I don't know how long Kyle Walker's injury is. I don't know if he'll be back. I don't think.
Nah, he's not the same. I feel like with his body now, it's about managing it, and I feel like he might have to retire from England soon. This might have to be one of them where he retires from England to prolong his career. I think he's got to think of that. Yeah, club career. Yeah, he's got to, because you know what I mean. Is he 33 now? 33? I'm sure he's 33
now. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got to make sure that, you know what I mean, either prolong your career in club football, or you know what I mean, just manage your injuries well. But this is a problem. He's such a powerhouse. He needs his speed, and he needs his legs. He needs the energy to drive. And obviously, then in the process, that's where the injuries are coming from, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah. Do you think it's grim, like seeing like your footballers get older? Do you know what I mean? Like seeing footballers get older, going through injuries. Like I think Kevin De Bruyne now is like 32 or something. I just think, how's he 32? When did that happen? Do you know what I mean? When did that time happen?
You know what's crazy? It's when I feel like now, when I'm going to be older than most footballers, that's when you know you're old in it now. Like,
when you see football, you know what I mean? Past the 2000 bit, you know. It's
weird. My days,
like, how's that? I'm telling
you.
It's mad.
It's mad. My God, man.
Knowing
2003,
that,
I'm hearing.
Throws like Erling Haaland and Phil Foden. But I'm 28, mate. They're both. I'm well older than them two, and it's mad, and they're smashing life. I wish I stuck up football as a kid, mate.
I'm telling you, man.
I play it now 5-a-side, mate, and I have to pay to play it, and I'm not good at it. So
yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. But someone says, "Hey, should see how grim it is." I'm trying to play at 40. Hurts, man. Yo, listen, fair play, man. Fair play, mate.
Still giving it a 40 though. That's it.
Yeah. 100%, man. You reckon there'll be a player that plays at 40 in the Premier League? Like, have we had a player that's played from like outfield player?
With Giggs, Giggs,
Giggs, Giggs, Giggs, 41,
he
42.
For time, didn't he? Yeah,
he played because he did yoga though. He did yoga. I think Scholes played till he's 38, but I don't think Kevin De Bruyne and these players will get to that level. I think 34, 35. Fernandinho played till he's 37. You know what I mean? It depends where you're playing, innit?
It feels like that kind of age now. 37 is where players get off. They just kind of like that's it. They just say sin a bit, go do their own thing.
This guy here,
Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva could play till he's 40, and I genuinely mean that.
Thiago Silva now. That's a shout. 38. Actually.
38.
Oh, that's a shout. He's still sick, Thiago Silva. So I reckon he could probably do it.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin De Bruyne though, it's one of them where, because Haaland's so good now, does he have to do less? Like, I don't know. When he was playing like last season before, he was almost, I won't say carrying City, but he had to be that guy in it to make sure, you know what I mean?
It was the big game moment kind of thing.
Big game moment player.
Because we had a thing when we still have this thing now, and it's if Kevin De Bruyne's having a bad game, people slate him and stuff and say sub him off, and then in the second half he'll end up scoring a goal and end up winning the game. It's just he can pull their moments out of nowhere, so it doesn't matter if he's not in good form. You just got to carry on playing him.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Big up to Anthony with a super chat. Both Manchester club will win the Champions League and the Europa League. Listen, man, if we could get out of our group first, mate, we just about scraped last night, man. I'm telling you, we need to top it, because if we don't top the group, we have to place the guys that come out from the Champions League. We have to play 2 legs, so we could play Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, these kind of clubs here. So, yeah, man, it's not easy. But I think Man City, I think they should have a good chance this year, man. I think it just depends on look at the draw. Yeah, it's your best chance. That's the key thing. It's your best chance this year because I feel like Bayern Munich's not the same this year. There's no Real Madrid. They've always got that history. They've always got that pedigree. But other than that, you know what I mean? Liverpool are always dangerous. Chelsea could be a dark horse, but there's no outstanding favourite apart from PSG, Real Madrid, and Man City. Other than that, it's all scattergun. It's all, whoever gets a look at a draw. And that's it, really.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about the Champions League. A draw can take you a very, very long way. Do you know what I mean? If you get a good draw going all the way, you can get to the final on playing just like dead teams. Not obviously dead teams because they're in the knockouts of the Champions League, but you can get there. Like, but it is a shout of you can never underestimate any team. If they're in the knockout stage, they're there for a reason. Like when we lost to Lyon. Do you know what I mean? You can't write teams off. We lost to Lyon, we lost to Monaco before. You can't write teams off thinking, oh, easy win this. It never works out like that in the Champions League. It always something happens.
If you top the group now, who are you likely to face in the next round? Have you?
I've not even. Let me have a look at the Champions League groups. We went through this the other day when we should top the group. You should easy. If we draw against Dortmund now, we should be fine.
Chelsea could win it. It depends. Bayern, but I don't trust Nagelsmann. He's a bum. Same. I don't think Nagelsmann's a great manager, if I'm being honest with you. Real Madrid are always up there, but I feel like with Real Madrid, it's key players in Benzema. Benzema is the glue up top. I feel like if he's out, because he's had a few niggles now, I think with Man City, they could probably put Alvarez in there and certain other players. I think Real Madrid have got to keep him fit. Don't know, man. PSG, I'm still backing them.
You know what's pretty mad? I'm literally going through the groups now, right? You know what? It is pretty mad with the fact that United need to be focusing on topping that group. Because like you say, Atletico Madrid are sitting in third at the moment. Barcelona sitting in third at the moment.
Yep.
It's actually mad.
There's a lot, AC Milan. AC Milan, yep. Atletico Madrid, there's a lot, mate.
Juventus as well.
Juventus, yeah. There you go. Juventus are in there as well. So it's
City-wise, can you draw the English clubs in the round of 16 or not?
No, you can't. Apparently, you can't.
Yeah. So for us, if we top the group, looking at Porto, Inter, Marseille, Salzburg, Leipzig, or Benfica, that's favourable for City. That
favourable. You know what I mean? You still got to respect them, but favourable. I think you know what? If you can get a Salzburg, if you can get a Leipzig who. You know what I mean? In the Champions League, when they get to the later rounds, they just falter. You know what I mean? You know what? I was going to say Napoli. You don't want to face Napoli at the minute. Bloody hell, mate. They're on fire, man.
Napoli are smashing it. So are Club Brugge. Club Brugge are top of their group. Madness.
Crazy, man. I remember playing them in the Europa League a couple of years ago. Like, they always win the Belgium League. Well, more often than not. But they've got an exciting, hungry team, man. I'm telling you, man. It's one of them, like... They could be the Atalanta of remember Atalanta a couple of years ago when they did well in the Champions League, got to the quarterfinal. Yeah. They could be that kind of team that just gets there. You're thinking, how did they get there? And they beat a couple of big names. It could be one of them, but I'm going for Napoli dark horse. But you just never know with this Champions League, man. Benfica are cold. Don't get it twisted. First in Liga Nos. Yeah, there we go. Got a good striker as well in, I think, what's his name again? I forgot his name. Ramos, I think it's called. So, you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. But going back to the English situation, I think for me, it's got to be Ben White probably going to be at right back. If Ben White carries on, will it be Kyle Walker or Trent Alexander-Arnold? Do you just put Trent Alexander-Arnold because of his name, or do you put Ben White at right back? What do you do?
What is saying? If Kyle Walker's out, are you going Trent or Ben White? If Trent's back.
Trent's back, yeah.
Yes, it's difficult because Trent's been having like shockers recently where he's not been switched on and that, and he's been getting cooked. But Ben White has been playing right back and he has been doing well for Arsenal. I think personally, I think Southgate are putting Trent. In fact, you know what? Now I'm lying. I don't think he put in Trent. I think he put in Ben White for more of defensive abilities. I think that's what he kind of looks at. I think before, I think I watched last year or during the Euros, there was a conversation with Gary Neville. I don't know who he was talking to, and he was speaking about Trent, saying, I think that he's in risk of being taken to the World Cup. or whatever it was at the time, because you don't need, basically Trent is very, very good going forward, but the way Southgate plays, it's very, you know what I mean, Southgate it was dead football in it, so I think he'd prefer just a guy who can defend on the right hand side. So now I think that's why I'd put Ben White in there over Trent. I mean, it's mad though, because I was, when I watched Arsenal against, who did Arsenal? Was it Arsenal Liverpool? Yeah, Arsenal Liverpool. You seen Ben White doing overlaps and that. I was like,
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's 100%.
Why is he frauding about as if he's a wing back?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, Arteta's doing some madness this season, man. You've also got Trippier again. He's a notable mention.
Trippier is a shout. Obviously, you don't know what his injury situation. Like he's very in and out of injury. But hopefully he can stay fit, because he'll definitely go if he stays fit. And the situation that we're in.
Absolutely.
Also, if you need a free kick, I remember when we played Newcastle, and then he had that free kick. Instantly, I sat and I was like, "This is a goal." You just knew straight away. Trippier, like, he was like, "This is a goal." This, and banged it in.
You know where it was? It's mad, with Trippier. I remember. Have you been to the Bowlers in there, Salford? I watched the England match with the Bowlers.
I watched the England match there. Yeah.
Swear down.
Yeah.
When Trippier got the free kick.
Yeah, when Trippier got the free kick and it popped
off. That's crazy. So we was in the same place, people.
Same place,
but obviously same, different. You know what I mean? Different. Obviously, we didn't know each other at that time. But when Trippier scored that free kick, man, I thought we were going to win the World Cup at the time, man. I genuinely, that was probably the best moment, man. But it is what it is. It's one of them.
The Harry Kane pain though, isn't it, when he didn't pass to
Sterling?
That's the moment. That's the moment.
I'm telling you, man. The World Cup's going to be weird, man, in December. Like, I don't know what do you reckon it's going to be like? Like, the bars in the winter is going to be busy. It just don't feel right, innit? Like, it's supposed to be outside. I was in Northern Quarter when we got to the finals, and it was heaving, and it's going to be weird, like the World Cup in the winter, innit? It's going to be like proper weird, innit?
It's going to be freezing. It's going to be freezing. It's not in like summer or anything like that. So it's just like, it feels like the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you know what I mean? To have anything like that, but obviously it is what it is. And it's gonna be weird with it being in December. Like, I think at first it might feel like when you have like an international break, but then obviously it's gonna be a mad one though. Like, Manchester will be popping.
Manchester's always popping when it's fever time. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get 5 in it. I personally think the heat might just kill off our players. I know it'd kill me off. That heat, playing football in heat, is the worst.
Yeah. They're saying that it's going to be around about 29 degrees, so it just depends on whether
29 degrees though, playing football, sweating your back out. Not a chance.
And it's a different type of heat as well. Yeah, it's a different type of heat where it's a bit
humid. You can it feels like there's not a lot of air. Like, honestly, I'd be done.
Exactly. But it's crazy. So the World Cup starts off around about the 18th of November. Then it finishes obviously a month later. And then like obviously by Boxing Day, we've got the fixtures again, man. So it's going to be a mad season. I just hope and pray. You know what? I'm actually saying this here I want to see that no player from the Premier League gets injured. I just want to make sure that nobody's got excuses. Nobody says, oh, this and that. Like, everybody comes back fit. We have a good end to the Premier League season. I want to see that, man. I don't want to see injuries. And this is just me being an honest football fan first before thinking about rivals. Let's see a good World Cup. Let's everyone come back and let's see a good end to the Premier League where it's exciting and it's fun. And then obviously we can see who we can get from the World Cup, because there's a couple of players that might be able to get it. Are you looking at anyone in January? Is Pep Guardiola looking at anyone in January that you think you're on World Cup watch? Is anyone for you? I'm thinking Goldie Gakpo for me.
Oh yeah, Gakpo. I seen rumors about getting him to United and getting him in. Getting rid of Ronaldo, even getting Gakpo in. But for us, I don't think there's anyone really, because we've got another centre back, so we have 5 centre backs, and if they're all fit, we're pretty chill. I think the only thing that you could probably say is maybe a winger. We don't have really an out and out winger on that right hand side, but Cole Palmer and Mahrez is still there, so I still don't see that being a thing. And
yeah, man,
I know Calvin Phillips is injured, but he should be back by then. And left back wise is probably the only thing that you could say, because I'm not sure on Sergio Gomez yet. Like, he's not really, obviously he got sent off the other night. He's not really shown his defensive abilities yet, but we have Cancelo there.
Bit of Angelino.
It's a weird one.
Bit of Angelino throwback.
He is basically Angelino too at the moment, until he can prove his defending. Until he can prove his defending. Like, he's Angelino too.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But
it's a weird one, the World Cup. We're not really looking at anyone, which is kind of a good thing. It means I can just assess the World Cup and just look at it. Do you know what I mean? And just be chill.
Exactly, man, exactly. But listen, we've got the big one this weekend, man. Man City versus Liverpool. Are you? Obviously, the record at their ground is not a great one. I think the last time you won was the one where Foden in lockdown, innit? I'm sure it was the one.
Yeah, when he scored that screamer.
Screamer, yeah.
Allison had a shocker in that game.
Yeah, that one. That
4-1. Yeah, it was 4-1, I think.
4-1. Yeah, that was the last time you won there. But in terms of your feeling going to this game, how are you feeling? Because obviously Liverpool are not the best, but then people are saying, "Oh well, it's Anfield and City are not." You know what I mean? Don't have the best record there. How are you feeling coming into this game?
It's grim, to be honest. It's grim. It's because the thing is, it's been us and Liverpool for the past, like, say, 5 years. It's been City, Liverpool all the time at the top. And this, I even in my head now, I still see them as our main rivals. And I think that's because of the last 5 years. Something, even though that they're like, what, 13, 14 points off it at the moment in time. I know they've got a game or two in hand, but I still see them as our main rivals kind of thing at this moment in time. Because I just keep saying to myself, they'll have a comeback. They'll get back up there, even though there's loads of points in between us, and we have to, like, obviously drop off for that. But I think I'm sweating on it. Basically, I am sweating on it because you can't write him off. I know that Van Dijk, I don't think he's ever lost a game at Anfield. I'm sure.
I've heard about that.
So that
crazy.
That's pretty mad. That, never losing a game. Like, he's not lost a game at Anfield. So that's mega. That, but I back us. I always back us. I back us. I think we're playing mint at the moment. We're playing mint. We're scoring goals as well, and we've got Erling Haaland, which just changes the game as it is anyway. So, and Liverpool are having a very bad time. If they play like they did against Arsenal, against us, I think we'll batter them.
Batter him. And you know what? That's not even exaggerating. But it's one of them, like, it's kind of like now or never. If you don't beat them now, it's like, bloody hell, man. It's Anfield. It's almost like you're going to be like, it's a bit of a dejected feeling because it's like, you've got to hurt them now when there's no Trent. Okay, they've got Gomez at right back, but he's not a right back. They've got their defense is wobbling. Midfield, for me, if you don't dominate that midfield, where
midfield got trash. It's trash.
It is. Their midfield is not great, and this is where you can run strings around them. Bernardo, Rodri, and De Bruyne dictate that midfield. Don't let them have the ball, and then up front, it's a case of, you know what I mean. Nunez is on a little bit of a form. He's scoring here and there, and then you've got Salah, who's not in a great form. Yes, he scored a hat trick, but that's Rangers tax. So it's one of them. There's no Diaz now to think about. So that side of the game you don't have to worry about. So there is pluses for you guys. It's just a case of, you know what I mean? Again, put it to that guy up front and he'll do the business, mate. Talk about Haaland, man. How's it been for you, man? How's it been for you?
Unreal. It's unreal. It's weird actually when you go into games and that, because I don't think I've had this before, not for a long time. Anyway, you're literally just getting gassed over just one player. Like, you genuinely, as soon as the game finishes, you're excited to see Erling Haaland again, because I think just the thing of it don't feel real that this guy exists. Like, he's in our team. He's just doing mad things, and he just doesn't stop scoring. Even when he, like, was it Southampton? It just seemed like everything was going against him. He was having a bad time, wasted loads of opportunities, ended up scoring anyway. And it's just like, even when it's not his day, he's still scoring. Like, it is a joke. It is a joke. We've just done a video on his £200 million release clause the other day. Because fans are sweating already. Do you know what I mean? It's 2 years away.
You know what? I don't get that, because at the end of the day, when he gets to that time now, he still has to decide if he wants to leave or not.
Exactly. He still has to want to leave, innit? Like,
there you go. He still has to want to leave. And also, someone has to still pay that 200 million. And you've only bought it for what, 60 odd million? You know what I mean? For the
51 mil we paid for him, which is mad. And then obviously
there you 200.
Go. So end of the day, even if someone if he does want to go, someone's got to pay that money. Someone's got to pay like £175 million. And with that money, we'll put it back into getting someone else, having a look at who's the next best thing after Erling Haaland. Obviously, and I seen a thing that's apparently City aren't worried at all by the time when it gets to that, because when it gets to that point in 2024, he has incremental wage increases until he gets that point. So by the time he gets that point, he'll be if not the best paid player in the Prem.
Yeah.
So he'll be on absolute cash. And with the goal, I've seen the money with the goal bonuses. because the amount of goals he's
crazy.
scoring is nearly £1 million a week. Is it 850 grand a week or something? It's scary money.
Have they got to pay him that straight away, or is it end of the season that they pay him that, or is it one of them where as soon as you get that target, you must pay him, innit? Like it's mad. I think that, when you think about it.
I think he gets he must get bonuses per goal he scores, and then I guess it comes through in that week. I don't know, innit? It must be mad being paid as a footballer. Imagine.
But you know what it is? I want to know. Oh my days, man! Like you know what? Us on YouTube, yeah, we get paid monthly. These guys, imagine us checking your bank balance, and it's like every week it's coming in. Like,
bro, Erling Haaland looking at his bank, and he goes, "Oh yeah, an extra £1 million in my bank, chilling." You know what I mean? They don't even have to look at the bank. They don't have to do that. They don't have to sweat. They're just chilling.
They're chilling, man. Honestly, man. And Haaland's chilling right now. I've heard even like the City store, there's no Haaland shirts. It's all like it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, they're in a bad time. I seen a thing literally before I come in here. Still got it next to me. It says the announcement of Haaland's shirt number in July prompted huge spikes in sales in Norway, Sweden, and Germany, all markets where City have had record sales. Across the whole of Scandinavia, 51% of sales have been Haaland shirts. Mad.
Wow,
that's crazy. It just changed the game. As soon as that number 9 changed the game, but the thing is, it's easy for us to sign him and think that he's going to slam on that, and then obviously he could bottle it, or it might take him time to adjust. But it just hasn't. He's just turned up, rocked up, and making it a piece of piss as if like he's been here for years.
Basically, yeah, he's just like, you know what, this is too easy. And I feel like for me, this will be a different kind of test for Haaland, you know what I mean? Because obviously the first game of the Charity Shield, it wasn't the greatest stuff.
No,
you know what I mean? It wasn't the greatest of starts for him. So he'll want to kind of like put one over that. And obviously a big
bit of revenge against Liverpool, isn't it? Like
Yeah. And this is his first big 6 away, isn't it? I'm sure it is. First big 6 away game.
Yeah.
Because
we played. Because obviously the Tottenham game got called off as well, didn't it? So
Tottenham game got called off.
Even that was a home game. So
that was a home game. Yeah. So this is the first big 6 away. So this will be a kind of different test for him. Not that he won't rise to it, but I feel like it's a different test in terms of like the crowd and whatnot, and whether he can come in and make her. Because obviously at home he's had that home comfort, but now going away from home, show what people are saying. He's actually that good, Like people can be like, wow, he's actually that good. And obviously you've got the Nunez little, you know what I mean, little mini rivalry, man. To be fair, people have given Nunez a bit stick. I can't lie to you. Don't get me wrong. He's not the kind of footballer I want at my football club. I just think aesthetically, I don't think he's great. His control, I think, is a bit dodgy. I just don't know. It's just not my kind of number striker. But I do think a little bit, though, the Premier League have been a bit harsh. He has got a couple of goals this season. He has been playing. Every time I've seen him, though, he has been making movement and whatnot. But it's a different type of test for him at Liverpool. With Haaland, he's got the ball running quickly. With Nunez now, I feel like people are feeling a little bit sorry for him. Like, you know what? Just give him time or whatnot. It's not the same pressure, is it? Haaland and Nunez, is it?
I think it's difficult for Nunez because say if Nunez joined City, there'd be a chance that he would have got more goals than he had as at Liverpool. And I think that's on the basis that we've been creating chances for years. We've been the worst at converting our big chances for time. Yeah. And that's because we create so many, do you know what I mean, with all our creative players. So I think Haaland coming into the team, it was kind of a dead set that he's going to score because he'll get tap-ins. Even if he doesn't have to work a lot, he's going to get tap-ins. Hence why the guy can touch the ball 11 times in a game and score twice. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he just needs to. So we just need the guy in the box. I think with Nunez, he has to put a bit more work into it. It's not as they ain't creating them kind of chances. The midfield ain't like the best at the moment, and I think because they're so heavy reliant on their front three, because the midfield don't get goals. The midfield don't score goals. It's literally just the front three that's getting all the goals. So it's more pressure on him to get into Liverpool, to fit in and start bagging. Because if Salah's, and like it says this season, like Salah's not been having the best of times, the pressure mounts even more than on Nunez. Because look, you're the £80 million signing. You need to step in for these goals that Salah's not getting. The only person who is performing, I'd say, is Diaz, who's just got injured. I think he's been mint. And I think he's a worldie signing him. And I think he'll have a great career at Liverpool, but it's still, there's just so much pressure ramped on. I think personally, I wouldn't even be playing Nunez, me. On
Firmino
on Sunday, I'll be playing Firmino because he's the guy that bags. He's just a solid guy. He'll get you goals. Nunez, there's so much pressure. You can't guarantee that he'll bag, but with Firmino, I just think there's a certainty that he'll get goals in him. So he's the safer bet.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I think for me, you know what I mean. Like it's a good problem to have over there. They've got Firmino, they've got Nunez, they've got Jota as well. Jota's always one of them players that I feel like in a big game he rises up. I think he's the one where I think, you know, Man City might have to watch out for, that he can get into them little spaces here and there. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good test, man. And obviously Phil Foden, I think a lot of people don't talk about Phil Foden. I mean, he was in Moss side yesterday. You know, I don't know if you noticed that, but he was in Moss side, and yeah, he was in Moss side doing some little shoot for the young kids and that. So yeah, man, it was all mad in Moss side yesterday. But yeah, Phil Foden as well is playing unbelievable. But yeah, what do you reckon of Foden, man? Is this a season where you feel like he's just going to get better and better?
Yeah. I think for people started cooking him in it because them first couple of games when he could have passed to Haaland a few times.
Yeah.
And Haaland was fuming, and everyone's like, "Nah, you need to pass this guy." And I think that's because we ain't been used to playing with a striker. It's you, but him and Haaland seem to have this really good connection. I think Foden's a dead set to start against Liverpool, and I think we've switched Foden over to the right-hand side whilst Jack Grealish has been playing on that left, and he's been smashing it on the right, Phil Foden. He's been mint. So I just think the guy's special, man. He can play across the front three. He's done it all. I think he's going to be sick. He'll be sick.
All right, listen, people, man. What is it with Man City players getting caught in Man City centre, man? What is wrong, man?
What is Bernardo doing in that video? I don't get what he's doing, and he looks so sus. He looks like he's been caught.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
He's been caught, man. I've been telling you, man. I don't want to say the word yet, but you know what is it? Did you research the company? I think it's to be fair, I researched the company because I went out. This is how sad I am, by the way. I checked the
you deep dive this, innit? You deep.
I deep dive.
I'm gonna cancel Bernardo's over.
No. I just wanted to see what is he doing there, like. And apparently it's a property firm, so it's like probably real estate in it. So he's probably either buying a new house
selling his house.
He's selling his house, man. But you know what it is? Nah, K's chill, man. But I just feel like it was one of them, like. How did the guy clock him as well? And Bernardo Silva, Guardiola's always riding his bike in
when that guy was chasing him on his bike.
Oh my god,
that video is funny. That video is funny.
But you know what? To be fair, it's crazy. Yeah, I do see some of the players. Like you know what it is? Yeah, a couple of months ago, I seen Rodri having a Subway sandwich with his girlfriend in Piccadilly Gardens. I'm not even kidding you. And I was like, you've got spice heads over there, you've got crackheads over there. And by the way, people, I'm not saying that out of disrespect, but I'm just saying that's what Piccadilly Gardens is like. And here's Rodri having a Subway. Bro, he's having a Subway. And I'm like, bro, guys, know your surroundings, man, because okay, I'll respect your privacy, but I tell you what, man, not everyone will be, especially when people are putting their phones out as soon as they can now. Like we're in that kind of world, innit? Like Haaland was in Salford Central. I always go down there every day to the gym. So I was thinking, why is he going down there? Because where's it leading up to? Has he got a house down there? Is he going to a restaurant? It's crazy, man. But City players just doing what they want, innit? Like
they just get about.
Crazy.
They get about, and obviously Bernardo's the latest one to get caught being weird,
bro. When I seen that, I was just like, how did the guy see him? And then it was so funny because he put the cameras on Bernardo, and then obviously I'm thinking, well, he's not gonna. If you put the camera to his face, it's not really good, is it? You know what I mean? At least let him come away from the door and then let him see you. But it just shows you, man. Fan. You know that kind of when you're in that moment, you're just a fan, innit? Like check you out with John Stones in midweek, man. You know what I mean? Like that was sick as well, man.
Oh,
I see you, man.
A McDonald's event. It was
the McDonald's event. How was that?
It was heavy. It was heavy. We got it was a free bar, so we was drinking rum and coke, Hennessy and coke all night. Right, it was steamo. Met John Stones, right? Because we just thought John Stones and Cole Palmer were going to be there, right? So we're just chilling, innit? We seen John Stones, seen Cole Palmer, spoke to them, had a picture of him and that. But as we stood there, Keith Lemon walked in, and I'm like, "Why is Keith Lemon here?" And then you got loads of Donnies from Love Island, like Davide and that. Them all getting out. Bateson's there, and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. The best one though, the best one, right, was Big Nasty rocked up, and that was their best.
Yeah, he's a legend,
Big Nasty. I used to watch Uncle Payne all the time, right? So I was I told him to bring it back, but we just stood outside having a full conversation with him. That like, it was good though because it was like a closely invited event. There was no one really like fanboying anyone. Everyone was just like,
I like that though. I like that.
Like
I generally
Keith Lemon,
like
obviously, he's called Lee Francis, innit? It's not his real name. I went up to him and just started speaking to him and just chatting shit about like Bo Sletcher and that. And he was just a normal guy. Like where everyone just stood there having drinks and you just like speaking to him. And I didn't fanboy anyone. Like I don't like doing that shit. So
no, same. I remember when because I know Raheem Sterling's security guard, and he was on I FaceTimed him the night before the derby, and I was just respectful. And then when I come off it, all my little brothers were like, because obviously they're City fans, like, oh, why do you get a screenshot on that, this and that? I was like, nah, because at that moment there, it's just one of the moments, and when you actually see them, and this is one of them situations where you just got to enjoy the moment. Don't think about, can I get a viral moment? Because that's what a lot of people do. And this is no dig at them. It's just, I think fan culture is changed now. There's not that feeling of, you know what, because they're just normal human beings. When you actually speak to them, they're normal human beings.
Yeah, just normal guys, and that's what when we was there, innit? Like, you can't really just like get started by any of the day. They're just normal people, and they don't want you to treat them any different than a normal person.
Facts.
So that's when you're gonna get a good conversation out of someone if you speak to them like a normal person and don't like fanboy them and stuff like that.
Yeah. And don't go up to Pep Guardiola and be like
don't chase Pep Guardiola whilst he's riding a bike and ask him for a picture.
Mate, I'm telling you, Big Steve. Remember Big Steve gave Jack Grealish a lift. That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious.
I'm sure they recognised him. I'm sure he said that they recognised him.
Yeah, he did. He did, to be fair. He did.
Yeah, they were like, mate. You did Saeed dirty on that derby day. I watched that about 30 times. You know, it's sick. It's so funny. Sorry, Saeed.
Skullfrog is the best, man. Nah, it's one of them, man.
It was. The thing is, it was comedic timing. It was almost like it couldn't be written. Like the whole thing about it. Like, what's he gonna do here? And then went and scored. It was honestly, mate, that was the best. That Skullfrogger.
It's the one, man. Big Skullfrogger is the legend in this, man. He's the legend in the game, man. I'm telling you, but it's one of them, man. It's a big game, man. I think for me, doing the Lord's work, salute. Yo, listen, you are, mate. You are. But you know what it is, though. If you were to kind of like, without giving a prediction, you know, are you confident of getting a result? I
think I am confident to get a result. I think it's hard not to be with the way that Liverpool are playing, but then in my head I know that it's still Liverpool City, it's still Anfield, it's still a place that we never like going to, and usually we crumble there. I mean, we usually go through like a 10-15 minute period of we don't have the ball, they're all over us with the pressure, and it's all about whether you crumble during that time or not, because you know it's going to come every single time. But I'm quietly confident, is what I'd say. I wouldn't say like I'm like gassing it up, like saying, easy win. Like if LB was here, mate, he'd be saying easy win, mate. Got him in the bag 5-0.
Yeah. LB's mad.
I can tell you that straight away. That is what he'll be saying. Me, I think I'm more reserved about it because I shit it before games. LB's like,
you always do this in games, innit? This is your
I basically hide behind my own line. I just like this. Every penalty, anything leading up to Derby Day, anything. I get that sick. Like Derby Day for me every year, as much as like it's sick when you get the result, it's still the worst day. It makes me feel sick before a match. I'm like, I hate this. Yeah. And Liverpool has got to that point now of being the same thing. I hate playing Liverpool because we don't have a good record of them. So you don't. Be a difficult one. It's going to be a difficult one. But I'm like quietly confident. I think, but like I said before, if they play the same way they did against Arsenal, I think it should be a walk for City. I've just seen AJ in the chat there saying who's playing right back for City against Liverpool, and personally, I do think it'll be Akanji. I think we'll play Akanji right back and we'll play Cancelo left back. Obviously,
keep Cancelo left back, innit? Keep Cancelo left back.
It worked really well against Southampton as well because we could kind of drop into like a back three kind of thing with Akanji on the right hand side and giving Cancelo just freedom to go forward.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Who've United got this weekend?
We got Newcastle, man. You know what it is with Newcastle? they're a very good team. You know, they've only lost once this season. Can you believe that? By the way, Newcastle have only lost. Liverpool's the only game where they've lost this season. I'm being deadly serious, like, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, if I look at the Premier League table now,
I've just put it up now, and they're sitting in 6th. That's pretty mad. I know they have played an extra game over like Hughes and Chelsea, but still, though, if they beat Hughes,
but they've drawn 5. Yeah, they can go above us.
Issue there.
This is the issue. I've always said with people, draws are bad. Draws are bad, man. In the short term, draws are far worse than losses, because we've had 3 losses this season, but all of a sudden we're above them. It's crazy, isn't it, how football works? But for me, I think when you're at home, we've got to use our home advantage, but we've got to stop that St. Maximum. He absolutely tore Kyle Walker apart. What was your experience when you were playing them? What was your experience? And they're just so fast.
Oh, it was unreal. The energy from them. I remember when I was watching that game, I was like, I can't believe it. I can't. Yeah. Did we draw that game 3-3?
3-3, yeah, 3-3.
Yeah,
3-3.
We were 3-1 down at one point. They absolutely slammed. The energy that they bring to games is unreal. And St. Maximin, if he plays and he's on fire like he was against City, then whoever's playing right back for you.
Dalot.
Yeah. I actually like that a lot, mate. I think if he puts in a shift, you know what I mean? That's what I like about him. He's like a quiet workhorse, you know what I mean? He just gets about, does his job. But Maximin will put you on toast. I don't. It doesn't matter who it is. He's just mint.
Anyone. I know. He's frightening me. I remember watching him a couple of years ago at Newcastle. I was like, who is this guy with a Gucci bandana on? Because that was when he was wearing the Gucci bandana. And then obviously, because of bloody copyright and whatnot, he's had to put it away and just wear a black one.
Is that why? Is that why?
Yeah, but apparently he's had to take it away because I think he wasn't signed or whatever. Premier League rules, basically. Anyway, advertisement. So yeah, man, that's why I call him Gucci bandana. I was like, what is this guy with a Gucci bandana? Didn't even know what his name was. So now, man, what are you thinking of this top 4 race? By the way, who have you got like banked on for this top 4 race? Like, if you had, because you think Liverpool would drop out, or do you reckon Liverpool will find a way of getting back into it? What you thinking?
The thing is, if City beat Liverpool at the weekend, they're out of the title race, definitely. Then it's them. They've just got to battle up to get there into the top 4. The only way that they'd get back into the title race would be disasters from Arsenal and City. Because if Liverpool lose against City, then there'll be 17 points off top, which is madness after 10 games.
Too much, you know.
17 points is heavy. So I think
how many losses is that?
Jesus, 70 games. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. So do you know what I mean? So 6 would be 18 points.
Yeah.
So then Arsenal would have to go and lose, do you know what I mean? Basically 6 games.
Yeah.
Or 5 and draw them, you know what I mean?
Which is not going to happen in the short term. It could happen over a span of the season, but not, you know what I mean? And then it means Liverpool have to win every single game. So it's not going to happen, man.
It's rough. That is rough. But they're going to have to try and fight to get into top 4. I mean, even now, Chelsea are on 16. They're on 10. They're 6 points behind Chelsea. They got to make up the ground. Like, do you know what I mean? They're going to have to start beating these top 4 teams. They're going to have to start and then I guess it starts this weekend against City. Start beating these teams.
Yep, 100%. And then they can claw the way back up. But I think with Reece James going out now, that's a big blow for Chelsea. Whether they recover with that one, I don't know. We'll see with that one.
That's going to be an interesting one. Let's see if they fall out of it. But my kind of top 4 thing is, obviously I'm going to back City to win the league all the time. So I'm going to say City top. Arsenal, it'd be a disaster for Arsenal to not finish in that top 4.
Disaster, yeah.
It'd be an absolute disaster. And last year was probably having a similar conversation, but they got dusted, and then Tottenham took over and got the top 4 spot. So they missed out on Champions League last year. I think, right, and this is the thing that, and no one's talking about Tottenham, and I don't know why. I don't know why no one's talking about Tottenham. They're only 3 points behind City.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy when you think about it, isn't it?
I think, right, it's going to be City top. I'm going to just like throw it out there and say Tottenham second, dark horse. You know what I mean? No pressure on them, just going there. Tottenham second, Arsenal then below Tottenham, just for a bit of bounce. The fact that Tottenham overtook them. And then Arsenal third. And that 4th spot, really, it's
anyone in it. It's anyone's game.
Yeah, because
it could be literally.
Beginning of the season, I was saying, nah, United ain't it. I think everyone was saying that. Losing 4-0 to Brighton or whatever it was. No one's saying that United are there. But they're up there now. Do you know what I mean? You sat in 5th. 1 point off top 4. You are up there, so you're in the conversation. Chelsea in the conversation. United are in the conversation, and then Liverpool are they going to get back? That's the only thing.
It depends on injuries. It's going to be. We're going to see how teams finish in before the World Cup, and also January. Whoever spends, whoever. You know what I mean? Builds momentum. So I don't think you can call it. It's just a prediction, just for the sake of it. But it's going to change every single time. I think we should have one post-January, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Well, but this is what I said. I said Arsenal. You need to assess Arsenal when it gets to like January. So if they're still top in January, then serious business.
Yeah, sweet. But now listen, we're going to wrap up the Manc talk here. Big up to you, Jordan, for coming on.
Of course.
Obviously, you know what I mean? Big up to Lewis. Obviously, he's getting his new flat. So each and every time, hopefully Lewis will be back next week. But yeah, man, Jordan, big up to you from City Extra. You guys got anything going on? Let the people know where they can find you, etc.
Yeah, just City Extra on Twitter, City Extra on YouTube. Go subscribe to us, innit? We're trying to get to, I think we're at 65k, also 66k.
Come on, that's it, man. Love to see it, man. So big up to City Extra for coming on, as always. And yeah, man, leave a like on the video. And big up to everybody who's been on the channel today, supporting the super chats, wherever. And yeah, man, I'll be back tomorrow for another show. Peace.